in 1 hour, in 2 hours. This fall, it comes out in December. Valve really perceives seasons and time of years different from us, don't they?
Hey, what's up? Say, did you know that according to the Half-Life developer commentaries, Valve spent weeks just trying to make sure that doors felt correct in VR? Oh, you already knew that? Hey, sorry about that, buddy. I would demonstrate this in Half-Life Alyx, but unfortunately I'm running out of storage space. You know, your mom's nude pics and video files are kinda big. Kinda like your mom.
I find it rather funny how Valve time unintentionally bled over to fan projects. For example, Black Mesa took over 15 years to get its final release. It was worth it though, game's amazing. Valve can do most of these game delays since they are a private company, and therefore they don't have any investors to disappoint with failed deadlines. Instead, they have fans to disappoint with failed deadlines. As you scroll down in this page, you'll see that eventually there's a new category called Reverse Valve Time. In other words, it's just whenever Valve decides to release something a little earlier than expected. So Valve Time is when something is delayed, Reverse Valve Time is when something gets released early. But I propose another, new, smaller category, Anti-Valve Time. Or, in other words, games or projects that Valve rushed, or rather made extremely quickly. There are two notable examples of this, Dota Underlords and Left 4 Dead 2. And these two games fall in the extreme ends of this anti-Valve time. You see, Left 4 Dead 2 is one of the fastest sequels that Valve has ever made. It's actually rather astounding how they went from making Left 4 Dead 1 straight into making Left 4 Dead 2 in such a small amount of time. And what's even more impressive is the fact that Left 4 Dead 2 is such an improvement over its original that most people see it as the definitive Left 4 Dead experience. In fact, all of Left 4 Dead 1's content has been ported officially into Left 4 Dead 2, so technically speaking there is no reason to play the first game. Not saying that Left 4 Dead 1 is bad by any means, absolutely not, it's a masterpiece in its own right. But I legitimately want to ask you, dear viewer, if you still play Left 4 Dead 1 and you prefer it over Left 4 Dead 2, why? I'm genuinely curious. Please comment down below, I would love to know why. That's an example of good anti-Valve time. But what's an example of bad anti-Valve time? Unfortunately, and as it pains me to say this, Dota Underlords. I love playing this game. It's a damn shame what ended up happening to it. You see, the reason that this game exists was because back in the late 2010s, early 2020s, auto battlers were on the rise, and Valve wanted to capitalize on this. They tried hiring the original developers, but they declined, so Valve ended up making their own game by themselves.